Hey. Thank you for joining us today on the Real Estate Investors Network. I am Big Lou.
And I am Candice Harris, and today we are here to answer your questions about investing in real estate. So, Louis, what is our question for today?
Our question for today is, what are the opportunities in the shifting real estate market?
Okay, and we are picking up from our discussion before. We have Miss Tamara Mannen here with Fidelity National Title.
Back in the scene.
Yes, and we are thankful and blessed to be in your presence again.
I'm so glad to be back.
What are the opportunities in the shifting real estate market?
Are you asking me?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Continuing from our last conversation was the gifts of shift. So, Candice, before we go into that, will you talk a little bit about, because I think when people hear shift, they think the sky's falling, or, oh my gosh, we're going into a down market, or we're going to be a bubble. And here's the reality. I've been doing this 22 years. This is not my first shift. And, there's data and actual research to prove evidence and history how sustainable Houston, Texas is in a shifting market, right?
Yes.
We're in a market that shifts because real estate shifts. So I know for the consumer thinking about investing or trying to diversify their money, because before I go over to Candice, right now in this market is an absolute opportunity to invest in real estate, diversify your income, and create passive income. And the true journey to wealth is diversifying different passive income relationships. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So talk to them about, you're the real estate agent. Talk about what shift is in the industry. You just said something really interesting.
Well, what I was saying before is that, I always have agents come up to me, even my own agents at my brokerage, and they're, hearing things from other people about the market's going to crash or it's going down, and I always tell them that the real estate market always shifts. There's a shift. There's a seller's market, there's a buyer's market, and there's an investor's market. So we're always shifting. You just got to know where to be during the shift to take, advantage of the opportunities that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I love that. And I wanted you to talk about that because it's so funny. Exactly. Real estate. We are a cyclical, hope I'm saying that right, business. We do this. And in the title industry world, we are directly affected to real estate. So we do this, right? And when the market starts to shift, we know it's going to, because that's what it does to correct itself. And people go, oh my God, what are we going to do? Yeah, the bottom's going to fall out. Here's the reality. And we are unique and special in Houston, Texas. As Texas is really, truly their own
Country,
if you will. Yeah, exactly. No, Houston, Texas, and Texas alone, especially Houston, there is evidence and history of sustainability during a shift, right?
Yes.
And one of those reasons, avoiding the bubble, there's not a bubble, right? One of those reasons is people don't move to Texas for the weather or
definitely not the weather.
Water, like when you have a booming market and everybody has money, they buy extra in California, they buy extra over in, New York, they buy
Miami, Florida,
Colorado, all these big places. And then the market shifts and it's like, no one says, oh my gosh, we have so much money. Let's go move to Texas.
Right.
People locate to Texas for economic driven reasons, meaning we've got the tech industry, we've got the medical industry, we've got oil and gas. Can't believe I put that one last. But anyway, my point is you have these experts that are saying, we're different. So back to what we're talking about. How does that create an opportunity for us? When you're in that shift, that's when you buy property, either buy, hold, or flip during that market. Should I tell my story?
Yes,
Tell your
please.
story.
So years ago, there was a wonderful agent by the name of Weldon Rigby. He's still here, by the way. God, just sounded like he was in past tense. I love him to death. But he's been in real estate, 35, maybe 40 years, and very respected and sold in the high end And one day, and I think he was in his 70s at the time, and he was in the office, and he said, Tamara, I'm going to give you some advice. I mean, he's got that country accent, but he's like, suit, shiny shoes. He goes, I'm going to tell you what I wish somebody would have told me 22 years ago. I said, okay. And he said, in this business, it's either chickens or feathers. Sometimes you got chickens, sometimes you got feathers. Okay, I didn't know what that meant. I had to Google it when I left the conversation, but I was like, okay, where's this going? He said the first house he sold in West University as a real estate agent was for $80,000.
Wow.
The first house he sold in River Oaks as a real estate agent was $130,000.
Wow.
Okay, you can't even touch River Oaks.
No, you're
For
going to
$2 million.
at least
$2 million, at least. At least.
That's the Beverly Hills of Houston.
Great way to
for
put it.
those who don't know.
Yeah. And he said to me, if I knew then what I know now, I would have bought a property every year, no matter the market.
Right.
I would have bought a property, one property, every year. I would have written off the, write off taxes because it's an investment property. And he said, and if I did that, even if I did it every other year, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you in the office.
Exactly.
And he said, and he was talking in that wisdom, like the younger people, there's just so much opportunity out there. And I have another friend that she married an older gentleman who was very, very wealthy, and brilliant man, by the way, worth millions and millions, I think like 70 million, right? And there was an age difference, and there was a prenup. They're still together. But no lie, he, on their wedding day, he gave her $1 million. And he said, I want you to go invest this $1 million in real estate. This man at the time was about 75 years old. And he said, in all my life, in all my years, if I knew then what I know now, I would have invested in real estate. This is a man with $75 million in the bank. He knows what he's talking about.
Right.
He said, I've just never seen the kind of return that, when he bought his house in Memorial, I can't remember what he bought it for, but it was like 400 or something.
Wow.
Yeah. And now it's worth 3.8, by the way.
Wow.
And that wasn't that long ago. That was his point. So to share with you, what are the gifts of shift? In a shifting market is where you want to pounce. In this particular city and state, we have hard money lending. We have experts like you guys that can help people invest, right?
Yes.
And then I got to say one more thing. The beauty of shift happens. Get your shift
happens.
together. Get your shift together and buy some properties.
Yes.
And join that financial freedom group. So I'm in the title insurance side. So, I'm third party, not to the contract, right? We close it. We insure the land. Best way to say what is title insurance, we're the only insurance that we insure the past. We say, hey, there's not any liens, that kind of thing. So now with that piece of that, I see all the financing. I see those numbers. And you guys have some really, really aggressive, cool opportunities, financial models in purchasing these properties. And I was just super impressed. And that's just a shout out from a personal.
Definitely have to be creative.
Yeah, you do. And you have to know what you're doing. Yeah. You have to know it. Don't go out there and try to do it totally by yourself. No. One, you're not going to source the best properties. You guys have access. You have access to MLS, and not just MLS. You have realtor, relationships.
Right.
You have title relationships.
Contractors, tools.
Right. You're just so more entrenched that you're going to be able to source the properties more. And, like I said, the financial aspect of it and all the connections that you have and hard money and those types of things.
We had an actual show that we spoke just about the numbers. That is all about the numbers and for it to make
sticking
sense.
with your budget and things like that. But I want to talk about, last time we met, we talked about the effects of COVID and the pandemic and how that's affecting the real estate market. Yes.
Yes, we talked about opportunity goggles. Like what I said before, we are now really feeling the financial effects of COVID. During COVID, some things happened and it was sad, right? same thing I said this last time. But it's true. But lives were changed. People died. People got divorced. There was addiction. The addiction rate went off the roof.
Right.
People had, left their job and didn't go back. There were programs that helped them out. And one of the things we're seeing now is this is where foreclosures, things of that sort. And we talked a little bit about putting your opportunity goggles on because it's no longer, really getting out there and talking to people and building relationships and finding out there's going to be people that are in trouble. There's going to be people.
And you have to know ways to help them in a situation. So tell me what you're seeing at the title company. I know that you guys are seeing a lot of these deals come through.
I will tell you right now. Listen to me. This is just title side. Our residential retail is shifting. It's still there, but it is shifting, right? Our investors are off the chart, okay?
Wow.
Because if you invest for a living, you understand this market. Now, I will tell you the big investors from other parts of the country that come in, we call them hedge funds, they come in and they, their goals, I won't name the name of one, but they stopped buying for about a month or two and they readjusted their goals and they readjusted their models and then they're back in business and they're buying. So it's just you and I and so many people out there should be taking this opportunity to invest in land.
And we also talk about the mindset.
Oh, yes. So from a title company, like you said, I work with a lot of real estate agents. I work with a lot of investors. And when there's a shifting market, so much is about mindset. It's about, do one favor. Turn off the news for about 2 days or 3 days.
Take a break.
Right? Take a break. Put on your opportunity goggles. Look around. Mindset and understanding and believing and going after the opportunities is everything. A lot of people freeze, okay? A lot of people just stop. They're scared. 22 years I've been in this business. I started when I was 6.
Yes.
And I've been through several shifts, okay? And I'm going to tell you right, full transparency, I did not take advantage of those shifts. Now that I'm a little bit into my 40s, back then I was in my 30s, I am taking advantage of this shift.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
I'm getting my shift on.
Get your shift together.
I'm getting my shift on. And that's just a personal thing, right? But this show, I love how it's geared towards truly helping individuals understand that and invest and, make money.
Even those realtors that are out there that may be scared because you never gone through this, feel free to contact us because we'd be willing to help out, and you're out there and there's opportunities that come up and we'd be more than happy to work with you and help you throughout the process. I mean, I think that's the whole purpose behind this show. We want to
encourage you guys to get your shift together and give us a call so we can help you guys, guide you through the process. I mean, I know a lot of people, reach out to me, and I always talk about the women investors who want to get into investing and are afraid to, definitely get your shift together, ladies. Give me a call. My email, Candice, info@CandiceHarris.com. So thank you, Tamara, again. And that wraps up our discussion about opportunities, seizing the opportunities in a shifting market. Thank you guys for your questions. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to our video.
Make sure you follow us
on our YouTube channel, the Real Estate Investors Network. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you follow us.